Hi, thank you for joining today's workshop. We are excited to have you here. Today's session will be led by our Director of International Sales, Dr. Melissa Cow.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Okay, good day again to everybody and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us. And today we're here to explore a simple idea. What if your CCTV could do more than just watch? For most retailers, CCTV has always been about two things, the deterrence and after the fact evidence. It works, but it leaves a big gap. The losses that you never recover and the patterns you never see. So loss prevention teams want tools that can actually help them prevent, not just record. So operations and marketing teams also want a better insights from the cameras that you already have in your stores. So this is where Centroid 8 and Centroid 16 come in. And that's what we're going to talk about it today. They are our latest 3-in-1 systems, combining full CCTV functionality for the day-to-day security and a specialized loss prevention tools to reduce shrinkage, and also advanced shopper analytics for operations and the marketing teams. So in one box, you get everything you would expect from a professional CCTV system. That is like reliable recording, easy playback, and the secure access control, plus the AI-powered intelligence designed specifically for retail. So this is not for like a factory or a warehouse or a shopping mall or anything, but it's specifically for retail stores. It is cost effective to do more with what you already have without adding complexity or overburdening your security teams. So Centroid is CCTV evolved, so security, loss prevention, and business intelligence in one platform. Is designed to be simple to deploy, sustainable to operate, and ready to deliver the real results from day one. So this is a series of workshop. In the earlier sessions, in here we have explored how our Pro2 platform brought AI-driven shopper analytics into everyday retail operations, like mapping the full customer journeys, distinguishing browsers from actual buyers, and revealing real opportunities for growth. But many of you have also told us that these analytics still sit beside your existing CCTV. So you need to get an extra Pro 2. So running them as a separate system to your CCTV. So today's webinar, we are going to, is about closing that gap. So we're introducing the Centroid, which is a purpose-built 3-in-1 platform, like I say. And at its foundation, it is a fully capable CCTV system, delivering all the surveillance features you would expect. And on top of that, it integrates loss prevention with the AI-powered loss prevention. This is an AI-driven capability that proactively addresses shrinkage, which is one of the retail's largest hidden costs, and shopper analytics. So it's the same deep insights from the Pro 2, now combined seamlessly with your security infrastructure. So why is this a milestone? Because Centroid turns your existing CCTV cameras and cabling into a unified system that does more. So it gives security teams new tools to protect the profit margin, while also unlocking the data that for the operations and marketing team that they can act on. So it's all without adding complexity to it. So this is why today's session is special, because for the first time we're showing how AI-powered surveillance, analytics, and loss prevention come together in one cost-effective system. That is designed for retailers specifically and ready to transform how you think about in-store analytic. Now, so let's look at where most retailers are today with their CCTV. So CCTV has always been the standard for decades. They're designed primarily as a security tool. It's effective as a deterrent and safeguarding the premises after hours, providing night vision alerts, and giving you footage you need to call the police in the event of a break-in or so. So when incidents happen, the process is usually reactive. So you review the playback, you download the clips, you submit them as an evidence, but there are limitations. So main thing, it is reactive, not proactive. So you're mostly looking back after the fact, and it focuses on burglary, not shrinkage. So the much larger issue of everyday loss prevention it still remains unaddressed, especially for the retailers. And it's not built for retail operation. So interfaces are designed for trained security staff, not store managers or the floor teams who need quick, actionable insights, and at the same time, they're not technical. Yeah, so CCTV remains cost effective and competitive, but because it has changed little over the last 15 years, it hasn't evolved to meet the specific needs of the modern retail loss prevention. So now, when we talk about shrinkage, most retailers, they do know the number. So 1 to 2.6% of their revenue lost, and depending on the segment. Yeah. But what's often overlooked is what that means for their profits. A lot of retailers are on thin margin, so that loss can easily wipe out a quarter of their net margin. So you're not just losing the profit on an item, you're also repaying the supplier the full cost of that item, for example. Now, traditional CCTV systems were designed to like prevent burglary or to report get evidence for a burglary, to protect the premises overnight, and to provide evidence after the fact, to bring your insurance down and all that. But they do that job well, but that's not where the biggest and ongoing financial drain happens. Internal theft, sweethearting, EPOS refund fraud, and repeat offenders who are coming back again and again to your stores or to your chain of stores. So these are the silent profit killers that traditional surveillance simply doesn't address. What we're hearing from security and operation teams across retail chains is consistent. They need tools that can scale. So imagine a small headquarter-based team monitoring a chain of 100 stores. So not by staring at 32 streams of video, but by getting intelligent alerts about incidents that matter. So they need systems. So if they are remotely sitting in their head office, so imagine if they can get some intelligent alerts. So because they're not security guards and you have 100 stores, not only just 32 screens, you can't be looking at a few hundred screens together. So they need a system that do the heavy lifting, flagging the suspicious activity and helping them act before the loss is finalized. Imagine they can do that. Yeah. So loss prevention is no longer a nice to have. It is a direct lever to protect profit margins, but yet no CCTV vendor has fully committed to solving this problem for retailers until now. And why now? Because over the years, CCTV has always been part of retail, but mostly as a tool for surveillance, a deterrent, and when needed, a source of evidence. What has changed is technology. So today, AI finally makes it viable. AI makes theft detection both accurate and affordable. The cost of computing power has dropped, algorithms have improved, and we can now reliably identify suspicious activity like sweethearting, refund fraud, or repeat offenders without overwhelming their staff. And at the same time, the cabling and maintenance still make up the large portion of the investment. So every time we can reduce the number of separate systems, so not having to have a security system and another one for like in-store analytic, when we can reduce the number of separate systems, we save not only on equipment, but also on the ongoing service contracts and engineer callouts. That is why a single 3-in-1 system for all the security loss prevention and business analytics is attractive. It reduces complexity while also adding the capability. Now, the retailers themselves are also ready. So there is a growing appetite for technology that doesn't just record incidents, but also actively helps reduce the shrinkage. The conversation has shifted from, can we do this, to why aren't we doing that already? So this is a moment when the loss prevention first CCTV makes sense. It's a natural evolution of what retailers already want, now enabled by technology that finally delivers. And why then FootfallCam is because when we designed Centroid, we knew it had to work for retailers first and foremost. Now retail in the CCTV world, retail is only part of the whole CCTV market. Hence, CCTV, when they develop CCTV, it has to be fitting for all different industry. Whereas Centroid, we developed specifically for retailers. So we knew it had to work for them first and foremost. And most stores don't have someone sitting there in the control room, watching rows of screens. So security teams are stretched thin. And in many small format stores, there isn't even a dedicated security, right? On there. Even if there is, and in most cases, they can't chase suspects or confront shoplifters directly. So what retailers need is a system that fits seamlessly into their day-to-day operations to make it easy for everyone. So Centroid lowers the learning curve to practically zero. Is as intuitive as using an app on the phone or a tablet. So any staff member can download, can review, can share the video clips, whether it's for reporting an incident or responding to a request from the head office or the police. So we make it so easy to use. And this matters because turnover in retail is high. So training a new staff repeatedly is costly and complicated systems often end up unused. So you add a little bit more extra, you know, challenge on there, then nobody will use it. So by making Centroid simple to operate, we enable all the staff to actively use the system, maximizing its value. And when something more serious did happen, headquarters can step in remotely. So investigate and coordinate with the authorities without delay. So in short, Centroid is bringing AI-driven loss prevention and investigation tools to the front lines, empowering every store, every team member without needing extra staff or specialized training. Now, let's look at how it works. So when we think about traditional CCTV, its main task, again, as we mentioned, is recording video and making it available for playback when needed. Centroid keeps that familiar capability. So every camera stream is continuously captured and is stored locally, of course, on the box itself. So playback, downloading clips for incident reports, or creating a permanent archives are just as straightforward as before. Where Centroid changes the game is in what happens in those video streams in real time. So inside the unit, we have a powerful AI processor, which is up to 25 TOPS. This stands for trillion operations per second. So 25 TOPS. That doesn't just record. It understands, it identifies people, track the movement across your different camera inside your store. It recognizes the pattern like suspicious browsing and even detects interactions between staff and customer at the tills, and including behaviors like voids, like when you're avoiding a transaction or any unusual transaction gesture. So this processing unlocks two additional layers of value. So first, it provides loss prevention analytics on there and send out real-time alerts and also retrospective investigation tool that makes it easy to spot internal theft or repeated offenders. And second, it automatically generates rich shopper analytics like the footfall patterns, the dwell time, and engagement metrics without any further additional hardware. So the result is a single compact unit that delivers all the CCTV functions you expect, but also transform those same video streams into actionable intelligence for both the security and the business operation team. Yeah. So now let's take a closer look at the Centroid. Think of this as your all-in-one retail NVR. So purpose-built for to make upgrades simple and cost effective. So it comes in two main models. Our Sorry, I have the volume on. So it comes in two main models, Centroid 8, handling up to 8 cameras, and Centroid 16 for up to 16 cameras. So both are hybrid units, which means they will work equally well with your existing analog camera on there. And I can show you the data sheet here as well. I'll come back to that shortly. So in this data sheet, so you have the 8, 16 devices. So these 8 have, and it has an inbuilt local storage, as I mentioned there, and it has all those NVR function, and it's taking analog as well as your IP IP camera. So so that it makes your when you're facing in, makes it easier when you're facing in. So you literally just remove what you had there previously and just hot swap it with that. Now, so physically it's compact and self-contained and familiar. It has built-in the storage, as I mentioned there, so you can play back downloads and that. And what makes it different is the intelligence that is built inside. So each unit has a dedicated AI processor. As we mentioned just now, the 25 tops. So it can enhance both the loss prevention analytics and full shopper behavior insight. So it's not just storing video, as we showed you there, it's giving your team some actionable information. So, and in most cases, the installation couldn't be easier. As we mentioned, replacing an existing recorder with a Centroid is a 15-minute swap out. So whether for the new site or upgrading your legacy system is designed to just slot right into your infrastructure so you can deliver maximum value with minimum disruption. Yeah. So now let's dive on into one of Centroid's most powerful capabilities, which is smart monitoring. So traditional CCTV is passive. So the cameras record and someone may review it hours of footage after an incident. Now, what Centroid changes that by actively processing every video stream with continuous AI. So instead of relying on security staff to spot an issue, it automatically highlights some suspicious behavior in real time. So if I show you a video, actually, so let's look at here. So what it combines is smart monitoring. So when it notices something, you notice here we have some alerts, and that's on the live view, on the live view monitoring. So you have an alert, and it will then go to that screen. So even if you have a security guard at the site, like for example, for a big supermarket, you might have a security guard on site. Then he doesn't have to look at 40, 90 of your camera screen to then notice something that happened. So AI have that, is able to pick up, you obviously train the AI on anything that you defined it as suspicious activity, then it will alert, and it can alert it in red, critical, or in warning, a yellow sign. Then they can then just play on that one. So it just makes it easier for the security guard or any or someone in the head office. They can then look at it. So it instead of relying them to spot it, it automatically just highlight the suspicious behavior in real time. So this means your team can act before an incident occurs. So it's just a simple alert on there. Now, then it also makes it easier to look back, because then it has all these alerts lock on there, so you can jump straight to that. Now, what it also makes it easier is that you can then bookmark the video. I will show you something in live, but just this one is just so that you can see it will. You can also add your comment in there, and then if you can log as many videos as you like, and then you can then create an incident report, grouping different videos or snapshots together and write a summary on that. And once you save it, it will then share it to your head office. You can obviously choose who to share it with based on your user access control for that. So this then lock it then for everyone to see. And this is obviously in a very tamper-proof and compliant way. So let's look back a little bit more specifically on here. So, and I will show you. So for example, you can come here to look at the live view. Of course, then you can look at, this is a very typical NVR way, but what it has is all this alarm log to show you if there's any suspicious activity. You can just go in there, you can dismiss it if it's not imported, or you find it was all right, nothing fishy going on. You can then go straight into there. You can add a bookmark if you think that, and you can lengthen that video on there, or you can also then save it. That's when we're saving it. So we can also add another bookmark, maybe there, to cover that video if you like. Again, then saving. So it's making it very easy. You really do not need to be trained to, as compared to a traditional video. So you can obviously delete it as well if you don't think that you need it anymore. So this means your team can act before an incident occurs, like for the smart monitoring, because we now have a screen notification or a sound cue so that you can tell your staff where something doesn't look right. So often just sending someone closer to the scene is enough to deter theft. You don't have to wait for the theft to actually happen and then try to catch it. A lot of time you can't catch it. What you're trying to do is, oh, this is suspicious. You just send the staff to stand there. And all of this happened without requiring a dedicated personnel staring at all the screens all day. Because all those alert, it can be sent onto the system or to your PA system. So you can announce it, you can just go ding, and the staff will kind of like get the hint of what that is about, and then just go to zone A, for example. Or you can then, of course, send the notification onto any handheld device. So smart monitoring is designed for flexibility. A central team of 2 or 3 people can oversee hundreds of stores, or the in-store staff can also get the alerts, like I mentioned, even when they're stocking shelves. You can just send a ding to your PA system, and then the one who is stocking the shelf can then move around and go to where it needs to be. So those incidents could be an example: a suspected blacklisted person has entered the store, or someone is hovering at zone B for 5 minutes and more. So all of this notification is actionable. They can of course, the staff can dismiss a harmless behavior, or then maybe it is true and they need to mark something for a later review, or they can even escalate immediately if action is required. So by lowering the barrier to action, smart monitoring is making loss prevention part of everyone's role, and it is proactive. So, and it's an efficient way to protect your store, turning your CCTV system into a silent partner that watches for trouble around the clock. Now, then then you have an incident and you want to investigate, and the Centroid has a smart investigation. Now, traditionally, CCTV has always been the go-to tool for investigating incidents after they already happen. It's powerful because it provides an undeniable evidence, but the real challenge comes when you have to sift through hours or even days of footage, because you don't know exactly when it happened. You might have lost something, but you don't really know when it is. So the real challenge is come when you have to sit there, shift through it, just to find the right moment. And it's often like searching for a needle in a haystack. And for the busy retail operation, that's time no one really has on there. So with the Centroid, we are turning that around. So our AI continuously processes all your video stream in real time, and it automatically analyzes the activities and tagging the incidents and flagging anything that matches your criteria for suspicious behavior. So just now you see those yellow and the red. So this suspicious behavior, you can train the AI on and say, all right, if it's like this, then that's a suspicious behavior. So it prioritizes what matters. For example, some of the suspicious activity, like behavior, is like when you have 3 people come in and one will go and talk to a member of staff. So for example, you have 3 people come in and one would straight away go and talk to the staff to deter the staff, and then another one probably then go to the shelf that is away from the staff, and another one standing near the door to have a lookout. This one is quite a typical a gang that works together, or those that will like look around and put things in their pocket. So these are the suspicious behavior you predefine and you pre-train them. Now, then when that happens, then it will start the alert. And so these are prioritizing what matters as a high risk events, flag in red, and the lower priority flag in yellow, as I show you there. So instead of randomly rewinding through your footages, your investigation becomes guided and highly efficient. So even better, the system ensures consistency because those rules that you have set for what constitutes suspicious behavior, whether it's repeated voids at the till or loitering in the restricted zone or any unusual movement patterns we talk about. So these are standardized across your entire chain. That means whether you're running 5 stores or 500 stores, you'll always know you are working from the same playbook. Yeah. And the results means investigation time is dramatically reduced and your operational teams can focus on taking the right actions instead of wading through the endless video. So Centroids is turning reactive CCTV into a proactive tool for smarter and faster investigation. So now you have investigated it, you need to do an incident reporting. Now, it is a necessary part, of course, but with the traditional CCTV, this process can often be clunky and frustrating. Downloading the footage is one thing, finding the right timestamps and ensuring it hasn't been tampered with. These steps can slow down your response, and you often probably need someone who's trained to know the process to do that. So it may complicate the collaboration with your head office or the law enforcement. So what Centroid we have done is to make this effortless, as we've shown you just now. So every incident, the AI flags then is automatically logged. You can bookmark it, and then the footage is securely archived. So you don't really need to know how to do a backup and all that. It's automatically done that for you. And it is a tamper-proof backup, and it's stored at your corporate headquarters. So that you have a backup away from your NVR or from your Centroid is actually stored in your corporate headquarters, complete with the timestamps like I show you here in the incident report. You can click on it to look at it. So complete with those timestamps, date and timestamps and verification. So when you need, I'll show you a little bit more here, for example, then these are your incident. So you archive all your incidents here, and with all the date and timestamps, the address site, and who did that, and with the associated video recordings and a summary subscription description on there, and so forth, and all those related alarm logs. So all these are already there. Is already packaged in a legally compliant format. So the systems interface is designed to be as simple as possible, meaning even store staff with minimal training can find and review and forward the right footage in minutes, in seconds. So they don't need to call in technical specialists or waste hours navigating the complicated menus. Yeah. This level of instant and standardized reporting doesn't just save time, it also builds trust, so that security team, operation manager, and authorities can all work from the same reliable record, ensuring the accountability at every step. So Centroid makes reporting an integrated and almost effortless process, turning what used to be a pain point into a powerful part of your loss prevention strategy. So now when we introduce any new technology into retail operations, one of the first questions from IT and security team is, how does this fit into your existing security policies? Centroid is designed with that exact concern in mind. We know that staff come and go, of course, in any company. And with traditional CCTV system, it's all too common for generic passwords like 1234566. So it's for it to be floating around, and that's a major security risk because nobody knows exactly who access what and when. So Centroid solves these with a robust access control. And every user is assigned a specific roles and permission. So the store manager can only access their own store, with the regional manager can access a few more stores, and so forth. So you can define who can view, download, or manage data, and how many devices they can have access to. And every of this action is also logged, so creating an auditable trail that meets your corporate compliance standards. We also offer single sign-on, meaning the Centroid can plug directly into your existing corporate Active Directory or any other identity management system. Your teams continue to use the logins they already have, and the system automatically applies the access policy you have defined on your Active Directory. Or alternatively, you can also use the V9 accounts for a secure and easy and a centralized account management. So which keeps all your access controls and privacy settings in one place. And for the IT department, this translates to one less headache. Security rules are defined once and enforced to all everywhere. So access is also clearly managed, accounts are secure, and the system integrates seamlessly into your other existing infrastructure. So Centroid reduces the administrative overhead while ensuring that your video data remains protected, traceable, and also fully compliant with your corporate privacy policies. Now, let's talk about one of the most impactful features of Centroid, the facial recognition with intelligent workflow. So retailers often face the same challenge, which is repeat offenders. And many incidents are committed by the same individuals or organized groups that are targeting multiple stores because they know they find a way to get away in your stores, then they're going to repeat it in all your other stores in your chain. So what Centroid offers is not just facial recognition technology, but a fully integrated workflow designed specifically for retailers. So at the store entrance, you have a high resolution camera that captures a facial key points. Now, not full images of that, so ensuring the privacy compliance. So when a known offender is identified, this biometric data is securely uploaded to a central server. And from there, it's automatically propagated to all your stores, all your other stores in your network, creating a real-time shared defense system. So this brings three key benefits. First, it acts as a centralized watch list. So ensuring repeat offenders can't simply just move from one location to another. And second, it delivers instant alerts, enabling, so as soon as one store have then say, okay, this is blacklisted, and he clicks save, and that is central. So it goes to your centralized watch list. And then immediately, if this person then move into your other store, and then it creates an alert to the staff. So it enables the staff to prepare before a problem even arises. So, and finally, the deterrent effect is powerful because offenders learn quickly to avoid stores that actively identify and act on repeat thefts. Yeah. Now, another powerful features of Centroid is its ability to deliver a real-time theft and suspicious behavior alerts, like the repeat offenders alert. And this is also how it shifts security from a reactive to a proactive mode. So, because traditionally theft is only discovered after it happened. So with footage reviewed long after the incident has already happened. By then, the damage is already done. And traditional CCTV relies on human to catch the wrongdoing. But with Centroid, AI does the heavy lifting. So we can recognize suspicious behavior in real time. Like, for example, now, if you put it in a pocket, we recognize that, and we immediately flag it as suspicious. So often as little as 1 in 100 and sends the alert to staff. Now, these alerts allow the staff to intervene early, so even before the customer leave the or the thief leave the store, and sometimes often with something as simple as approaching the area or just talk to the person offering assistance, that alone can deter most incidents. So instead of watching hours of on your CCTV monitor, your staff only need to focus on the tiny fraction of activity flagged as suspicious. And often that is 1 in 100 events. And this means 10 to 20 times greater efficiency and a far higher likelihood of stopping the theft before it happens. Now, how does Centroid achieve that is by using a multimodal AI assessments. It analyzes millions of movement patterns inside your store to build an understanding of what suspicious behavior looks like. like for example, loitering in a high-risk zone, an unusual travel path, and especially group activities. When I mentioned before, like one person distract the staff, another take action, and another one maybe stand out as a lookout. So it also interprets shelf interaction with advanced video transformers. So spotting behaviors like concealment or tampering, and the context matters too, because theft happens away from staff, blocking it or just being away. Like this, if the staff is here, then they're just going to do it on the other side of the store, and in crowded area as well. So when you suddenly have it in your peak period, because you can't detect them. So the system factors in also demographic, behavior, and even transactional data to refine its analysis. So each store has its own patterns. Now, Centroid comes with a powerful pre-trained model, and that gets smarter over time because then learning from your own store environment and behavior patterns. So as the system adapt, the alerts will become more accurate because the AI goes in a self-learning loop. So it will just become more and more accurate over time. So further reducing the false positive and improve the confidence in every notification. So in short, Centroid's intelligent and continuous AI monitoring means your team can act faster and smarter, and also only when it matters most. Because after all, your staff is not there as a security guard. They're there to make sales, right? So, but these allow them to also act on it as well. Now, this creates a double effect. The staff gain peace of mind, and the would-be offender, hopefully they will quickly realize that the store is actively monitored, so they should go elsewhere. Yeah. So the Centroid makes it far less attractive for them to even attempt the theft. Now, apart from those which are external, internal theft is also a hidden source of shrinkage. Now, it accounts for up to 40% of retail shrinkage. And that's a figure that can severely affect margin. Yet it is a sensitive issue because it's difficult to prove and is very complex to monitor and is often left unaddressed. And Centroid brings the AI intelligence to this problem. So by continuously analyzing the video stream, Centroid can detect suspicious activities at key risk points. For example, if you're voiding a transaction when no customer is in front of the till, or if you're scanning an item inconsistently with what's logged at the till. So what you're seeing here is not what being locked in the till, or you're repeatedly opening the cash drawer without an associated transaction. So you're using these advanced video transformers. These patterns are flagged automatically for review. So you're not accusing someone straight away. It's just flag it up for the management to review, and then they can just mark it, no, that's not it, that's not suspicious, or when it is. So it just eliminates the need to swift through thousands of hours of footage. Is already flagged, and you just look at what is being flagged on there. So cameras in the storeroom as well can be linked. So these are tracking access by the time, location, the personnel, and also correlating this with reported incidents. So all alerts are standardized into your SOPs, so making investigation more systematic and discreet. So again, here, similarly, the real power is twofold. One is early detection and a strong deterrent. So when staff actually know that activity is transparently and intelligently monitored, risky behavior will drop dramatically. So protecting your bottom line and reinforcing the trust in your operations. Now, let's see just two types. So a small format stores for more compact retail spaces like a fashion retailer or a cosmetic shops. So these are ideal for new stores or those that are undergoing refurbishment. So in this case, you probably just use a Centroid 8 and up to 8 CCTV camera. Again, it can work with any type of CCTV camera, be it analog or the newer IP based cameras. So if you are installing, opening up a new store, you might install a Centroid, and then you may purchase some CCTV camera, or you are replacing a old NVR that you already have, then that would be the cost, and you are reusing the CCTV camera, so there's no cost for the camera. And another more medium-sized stores, like for example, retail unit over 3,500 square feet, like a department store with multiple zones, a more large specialty stores, then you might need to up to 16 CCTV channel. So it is both the Centroid 8 and Centroid 16, they are hybrid NVR, as we mentioned before. And again, you can work with your existing CCTV. So that's the kind of setup. Now, so when it comes to the Centroid deployment, the goal is to keep things simple for your existing CCTV partner. So your installer, for example. So and while opening a direct collaboration with us, FootfallCam, for all the advanced AI functions. So hardware-wise, Centroid is very familiar. Is a very familiar CCTV setup. Same cabling, same cameras, same network configuration. So your installers stay in their comfort zone and your current maintenance contracts can remain intact with them. Where the real change happens is in how we work with you. So FootfallCam will partner directly with your team on the areas that truly matters, which is configuring the shopper analytics, setting up the loss prevention workflow, and fine-tuning the AI models to fit your own store operations. This way, your CCTV installers aren't burdened with the complexity of the analytics, and your staff benefit from a solution that's tailored to your needs with all these advanced function. Yeah. And the 3-in-1 is future ready. And when we talk about pricing, we know many retailers will naturally compare Centroid with their established names like Hikvision, so which are renowned for their aggressive pricing. But the real cost of CCTV goes beyond just the box itself. You have the cabling, the maintenance, the support contracts, and the overall cost of ownership can quickly add up on that. Now, Centroid was designed with this in mind as a true 3-in-1 system, which is surveillance, loss prevention, and shopper analytics. It consolidates all this into it consolidates what traditionally required multiple system, so into the one. So the price wise is just slightly higher than the Hikvision Value series. So it gives you a risk-free way to upgrade. So even if at the worst case scenario, you decide the analytics is not for you, the loss prevention is not for you, and you still retain a fully functional, cost-competitive CCTV system with the same cabling and maintenance costs. Yeah. But of course, the real value comes in our flexible SAS model. So instead of paying for features you may not need, you choose only the analytics functions that make sense for your operations. So many retailers have trialed this approach and found that the added intelligence does delivers the measurable improvements, which is reducing shrinkage, optimizing the operations, and even improving on their revenue. So it keeps your upfront costs minimal and your long-term ROI high. So it's not just about competing on the price, but it's also about delivering more value for every dollar you spend. So now let's talk about how Centroid compares with Hikvision in a little bit more detail, which many of you are familiar with. So Hikvision dominates the CCTV market with 4 main series: their Value, the Pro, their AccuSense, and their Deep in Mind for that. So the Value series is cheap and widely used, but is not designed for the unique needs of the retail. The Pro and AccuSense series focus on the burglary prevention, tracking the individuals at night, or for example, for a public venue, so they want to track the person with a green shirt and a red cap, so they want to track it across a different camera so that you can find that person, and obviously reducing false alarm. These are great for catching an intruder maybe once in a month, but not for analyzing thousands of shoppers every day. And while their Deep in Mind is built for searching through archives, finding someone, as I mentioned just now, wearing a green sweater in the past 60 days, and is not for monitoring ongoing in-store behaviors. Now, because of this mismatch, many retailers just end up with the low-end value series because it's affordable, yes, although it's not optimized for what really matters to you, which is the loss prevention, shrinkage control, and understanding shopper behavior. So Centroid was built with the retailer in mind. So it's the only CCTV solution so far that combines real-time loss prevention alerts with the full shopper analytics, and also with all the standard security functions in a single AI-powered system. So our analytics are tuned to detect the subtle patterns of theft and suspicious activity that happen daily in the stores, not just on in rare external incidents. Now, in short, Centroid isn't just a repurposed city security system. It is purpose-built for retail, so helping you to reduce your shrinkage and improve all your operations and enhance your security in a cost-effective platform. Now, we have talked a lot about loss prevention, but I also want to reemphasize another key reason why retailers choose Centroid is because of its built-in state-of-the-art shopper analytics. Now, Centroid carries forward FootfallCam's next-generation analytics platform, delivering the deep insight that used to require a separate people counting system. Now, it built directly into the same box. So you're not just getting security, but you're also getting the same level of accuracy and richer data that FootfallCam is known for, with no additional hardware or installation needed. That means you will automatically gain access to the advanced shopper path tracking, the detailed customer segmentation, like whether they are determined buyers or a casual browser, to your engagement levels with your display, with your shelf, your staff, customer interaction, and the dwell time analytics. All of this comes as a standard, effectively for like all these customer engagement level as well. So effectively for free alongside your Centroid deployment. So no extra cabling and no separate system means no added complexity. So just the actionable insight for you there that help you improve your store performance. Now, this webinar series has already, this particular has already covered the details of our analytics in the earlier sessions. So you may want to go and watch back our previous webinar in this series, and we'll also dive deep, even deeper in the future ones. So where we are going to talk more specifically on that. But the key takeaway here is that with the Centroid, you're not choosing between security, loss prevention, or analytics. You're getting all three fully integrated in a single cost-effective platform that is purpose-built for retailer. Yeah. So now let's talk about the compliance, something that is often overlooked, but absolutely critical for any retailer on the CCTV. So CCTV systems store an enormous amount of video data, and with that comes the responsibility to meet the GDPR and also other privacy regulations in other countries. Now, traditionally, with many CCTV vendor, the burden of compliance is left entirely to the retailer. So you need to design your own policies, you need to figure out how to enforce them, and hope your staff consistently follow the right procedures. And so end up only a very small number of your staff are using it because you can't risk them not following the procedures. So because the reality is difficult to manage and even harder to scale across hundreds of stores. So with the FootfallCam V9 platform, we have built the compliance directly into the workflow. So every device operates with a predefined access rules, audit logs, and permission controls. So ensuring all the data handling meets your corporate security standards. This means your team aren't forced to constantly reinvent the wheel or manually enforce complex policies. The system does it programmatically. Yeah, so for head office, this delivers stronger governance to them and full visibility because every access, every action, and every video retrieval is logged providing an auditable trail that is easy for internal and external review. And importantly, is designed for scalability. So when you're running 10 stores or 1,000 stores, you can centrally manage your compliance and saving time for your IT and security teams while keeping your whole entire network protected and accountable. Yeah, so in short, we remove the hassle of compliance so you can focus on other stuff. Here is a document that you can look at. We have compiled something together here so you can have a look at all these different areas for that on there. So you can reference on there some, you could probably even duplicate that as to your policy. So some more upcoming webinars. We're going to talk more on the RFP and RFQ side. This will combining Pro2 Centroid as well. So choosing which one for which scenario and all that, and how you work with your installer and the pricing as well as the future roadmap on there, and as well a little bit more detailed AI powered insight with the AI simulator on there to exactly how to maximize sales. So that's another interesting webinar coming up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Melissa, for the insightful presentation. We have covered some great points today, and I'm sure our audience has a lot of questions. I can see in the chat we already received some great questions. We will now move to the Q&A section.
Okay, thank you. First question, how does the Centroid differ from a traditional CCTV systems? Centroid integrates AI-powered loss prevention and shopper analytics into this hybrid NVR, so that it's turning your CCTV from a passive recording tool to an active system that detects and alerts on the suspicious behavior in real time. Yeah, that's the main difference in that. It has everything that a traditional CCTV system have, and on top of that, the reason is because we have put in a very powerful AI processor on top. Second question, will my existing analog cameras work with Centroid? Yes. As you can see just now on the data sheet, you can click on it. At the back, it already have the input ports for the analog BNC connectors, so that runs on your RG59 cable. Yeah, so it supports both the analog as well as the IP cameras that is on your network, so making it easy to integrate with whatever existing infrastructure that you already have, so hopefully without the need of costly rewiring or upgrading your cameras. You don't need that. Yeah. A third question, how accurate is Centroid's AI in detecting suspicious behavior? Now, our AI uses multimodal analysis, so including path tracking, group activity detection, shelf interaction, and demographic context. And it continuously learns from your store's environment to improve the accuracy. So for example, it then comes up with this, it always comes with a pre-trained model. So you start with that and it keeps on, it gives you some alerts. And when you review the alerts, you then tell it, because you're going to tell it and say, this is relevant, or no, this is not important. So AI learns from your input, your feedback on those as well. So you're going to learn, okay, this is not relevant. That one is indeed correct. So you are now then feeding back onto the AI, and that's what AI self-learn. And over time, its accuracy is just going to improve. It's going to increase the number of alerts that you say is relevant to you, and reducing the alerts where you say it's all right. Yeah. Next question. Does Centroid comply with GDPR and privacy regulations? Yes, of course. All personal data is processed in compliance with GDPR. So even with the facial data, they are stored as biometric vectors. They're not raw images. So access control, logging, and a tamper-proof archives as all ensure strong governance on there. Next question, what's the benefit of smart monitoring for staff? I think this is very apparent. It reduces the needle in the haystack kind of video review. So staff receive prioritized alerts. Of course, the staff can still go and look through everything if they need or finding, but at the very beginning, of course, then it will start to give you that. So staff receive the prioritized alert, And especially when you have 90 cameras to review, 2 big monitor, which one are you going to look at? So the prioritized alerts is important about a genuinely suspicious activity. So enabling them to take proactive and low effort actions before an incident occur. Yeah. Next question, how does Centroid handle internal theft? So the AI monitors the tills, the storerooms if you want it, and you can detect anomalies such as an unauthorized voids, mismatched scans, like I mentioned just now, any till opening, because you from just the EPOS system alone, if there's a void, if there's a drawer open, you don't know whether it's actually a genuine transaction or not. So combining with your CCTV, when you have a till opening and there's no customer standing in front of it, then that's a suspicious activity. Yeah. So so this provide a very useful a layer of views on there. Yeah. Next question. Will Centroid disrupt my existing CCTV maintenance contracts? No. So the installation is nearly identical to a standard CCTV system. So allowing your current installer to continue to support it. So you can literally use your own current partner or whichever company that you work with. So we, FootfallCam, will work directly with you on the AI side, the AI configuration and the workflow side. Yeah. The next question, how is Centroid priced compared to Hikvision or other vendors? So we price, Centroid is priced slightly above the Hikvision value series, but it includes all the advanced AI features and the shopper analytics. So you do get a reducing in the total cost of ownership by eliminating the need for a separate system. Question 9, can multiple stores share a blacklist of repeat offenders? As I mentioned just now, yes, is the speed to that as well. So the facial recognition alerts can be securely shared across your store network. So it doesn't have to go into your individual Centroid. So you go into your centralized area with that list, and your Centroid will then reference that and it will provide early warnings. So it can be as quick as this store now realize it and they store it as a potential offender, and that being shared centrally within seconds, and all the other Centroid will now alert when it notices someone with that facial biometric points, the features. Yeah. Now, last question. Let's do a last question. How do I train my staff to use the Centroid? It is designed for simplicity. As you noticed there just now, the UI is very straightforward. Not a lot of buttons to click. It's very self-explanatory. So the user experience, as we make it as intuitive as a mobile app. So minimum training is needed. And the turnover is less of an issue since new users can operate it with little onboarding. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Melissa, for the insightful and informative presentation. We have covered some valuable topics today, and we truly appreciate your expertise. A big thank you as well to everyone who joined us for today's workshop. Thanks again for being part of today's session. We look forward to seeing you at our next workshop. Thank you.